Do you know what is one of the biggest mistakes that you can do when visiting Iceland? It is bringing wrong clothes or clothes that you don't need. And trust me, after living years here on the island, I've seen people wearing basically everything. First thing to understand is that the basics of packing for trip in the winter and in the summer will be kind of similar, because summers, even though they are much warmer, there can be still very cold days, especially when the wind picks up and temperatures drop during the evening, and so you'll still want to pack something that will keep you warm and dry. Alright, so let's just first start with the base layer. And I just first want to say that I really want to keep things easy, and I don't want to confuse anyone who isn't used to being very much in a cold climate or outdoors. And there are so many people on the internet basically telling you need to bring 3 layers, you need to bring 5 layers, and then I see all the people in the comments being all confused and like, so which is the perfect number and what am I supposed to bring? But I'm here to tell you that it doesn't need to be that complicated, because most of you honestly won't be really doing any crazy hikes here or like expedition style traveling. And those of you who are, then you are most likely already familiar with how to layer and what to dress outdoors. And so with that out of the way, we got the first layer. And what I like to wear is just some sort of thermo t-shirt, usually a long sleeve. They are made out of synthetics or like merino wool. They are not too expensive, and it's just something nice to have, because generally you just want to avoid wearing like a regular woolen shirt, because these attracts the moisture a lot, and so if you are moving around and you get sweaty or just wet, it doesn't dry very well, and so you can also get cold very fast. And so yeah, bring something like this. On top of that, I like to wear thermo, like a turtleneck sweatshirt. If you don't have that, just bring something like a regular sweatshirt or flannel shirt or sweater. And I mean, it's not very practical when traveling because it doesn't pack very well, but I think it's nice to have, because if you are just, hanging out in your accommodation and you get a little bit cold, then this is just something that will keep you, warm and cozy. And so yeah, I would bring that too. So as a third layer or a second layer, what I recommend is bringing a down jacket. If you are here in the summer, then you can get away with something thinner. I have this one from Patagonia, super happy with it. It's warm, it's much warmer than wearing only something like this. And it packs into super small package too, so if you don't have enough space in your luggage, or I mean, you can wear it on the plane, but it packs super small and it's very light. So this is a must-have in my opinion. If you're a person who gets cold very easily, then you can bring, or if you are here in the winter, definitely, you want to bring a warmer down jacket, This is what I wear if I'm standing around with the camera and shooting for a longer time. The goal of this is that it provides a really good insulation and keeps you very warm. So bring this if you are in the winter. And now we are moving to another important layer, which is a shell, and that's basically a top layer that will shield you from any elements like wind and rain and all this good stuff. So again, same as this, it's very light. This is thin. This isn't supposed to keep you very warm. This is just supposed to repel the water and the wind. And this is something that you definitely want to have, because in Iceland it can be raining a lot, and even in the winter this is just nice to have because it's super windy. And if you are wearing, let's say, only this doesn't protect you from the wind that well. But if you have this on top of it, then this basically, the wind won't get through. So definitely bring this. But I also want to give you another option if you cannot afford to buy a new jacket or you just don't have that. You can also bring just a raincoat. You can have this, let's say, just some down jacket, and if it starts raining, just put on some raincoat. They are usually not expensive at all, so The goal is to stay warm and dry, and so just keep that in mind. And before we move any further, I just want to say, do not bring an umbrella. Please don't be this kind of person, because I don't know if you know already, but Iceland is very windy and it doesn't even really work here that well, because with the wind it often rains like sideways. So if you have an umbrella, you just hold it in a very awkward way, and all the drops that are coming from the umbrella, the wind usually takes them and they end up on you anyway. So umbrella, it's a big no-no. But yeah, let's move on to the next piece of clothing, and that would be long johns, or for ladies some sort of warm leggings, something to wear underneath your pants, which I usually recommend bringing some hiking pants. They don't necessarily need to be water resistant. They should have, you know, some water resistancy, but they don't need to be completely waterproof, because I personally don't like that. I usually find like I'm getting sweaty very fast if it's like a waterproof material, and so I prefer these like breathable materials for my pants. And if it's really raining, or you are visiting, let's say, a waterfall where there is a lot of spray coming out of the waterfall, then you can just bring, you know, like a rain pants, and just put that over your regular pants and just wear that for half an hour, and then take it off and just put it on your backpack or something. And so this has been my solution, and it's been working well. But definitely have something that you can protect yourself against the rain and the water spray at the waterfalls for your lower body, and not just a jacket. So this is a must-have too, for sure. If you are here in the winter though, then you will probably want to bring something warmer. And what I have on mind is like, just bring like a ski snowboard pants, you know, something that's basically thicker, maybe has a little bit of insulation, and it usually repels moisture better too than regular hiking pants, while still being pretty breathable in my opinion. Right, what else do we got here? Oh yeah, the socks. Don't forget to bring some warm socks. This is for sure a must-have, you know, bring a couple of pairs. Then if you have something funny looking like this, just some warm woolen socks at home, bring this, because if you are staying, you know, somewhere, then the floor might be cold, and this is I think it's better than bringing like slippers. And this is just much lighter, much more packable. And yeah, another option could be if you have these like hotel slippers laying around somewhere, or you can also buy that for very cheap. And again, it's just super light, super packable, and it's better than bringing like flip-flops or something like that. And now we got the shoes, and that's a very, very important. Is it still considered clothing? I mean, I guess so. You want to have something that goes like higher than the ankle, in my opinion, because, you know, you step in the puddle, or if you are in the winter walking through the snow and all that, and you also want to have something that has a good grip. So if you are here in the winter, it might be a good idea to have something like this that also got some good insulation to keep you warm. But if you are here in the summer, you can be wearing something much simpler. And I still recommend to have higher shoes, because, you know, let's say you are walking over the lava field or something like that. The rocks here can be very sharp, and what I found out, if I'm wearing shoes that are not basically very high, it can be kind of dangerous. And I don't have a very good experience with that. So I still recommend higher shoes, waterproof definitely, even in the summer, but they don't need to be that warm, that insulated, in my opinion. Another thing that I see people recommending online usually, and I personally don't have experience with that, but I think that it can be pretty useful for many people, is bring these, I think they are called ice grips in English, like these little crampons that you can put over the shoe. And this could be very useful in the situations like if you are visiting a waterfall and everything around it can be frozen and it's just ice. So for these situations, some people seem to be highly recommending that. And so I'll try to find it on the Amazon and link it in the description below, so you can check it out. I think no matter what time of the year you are visiting Iceland, you definitely want to bring some beanie, something warm. And I personally wear that all year round, you know, just like a baseball cap. And underneath, if it's windy, I find nice to combine it with this headband. So you can basically wear this while you have this over that. And so now you won't mind the sun shining into your eyes, and your ears stay protected from the wind. So I think this is a nice combo. Not the best looking, but it worked. And also, if you are wearing this is a nice protector. If it's raining, like I said, if it's raining sideways with the wind, then you just put your head down and you don't get rain into your face for the whole time. So that's been very useful in some cases too. And you also want to bring some good sunglasses, because the sun here can be very strong when it comes out. And this is a definitely must have, and especially if you are driving a lot. Oh yeah, this one. Some people will probably laugh at me because I'm talking about this all the time, but having a buff is one of the most important pieces of clothing that you can bring here, because it just protects you so nicely against the wind, and it has so many uses. Like, you can use it as a headband, and if you don't have a sleeping mask, for example, you can just use this, you know. You can save a space, you don't have to buy a sleeping mask, and you just use your headband for the night. So might look ridiculous, but it works pretty well. The gloves. For the summer, you don't need anything too warm. You can probably just take very thin gloves. If you have some waterproof gloves, that can be a good idea too, or just have 2 pairs, you know. Like, this is probably the thickest that I would bring for the summer. But for the winter, you definitely want to bring, well, you want to bring 2 pairs of gloves probably, but you definitely want to take some proper winter gloves too. And these are just, you know, ski gloves. So pretty simple, not too expensive. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Actually, there's one more thing which I forgot, and it's down here. And it's swimsuit. Bring that. A lot of hot springs, a lot of very cool hot pools, so you definitely want to have that. And yeah, with that, if I can think of anything else, I'll probably do a part 2, because there are still some items that you might want to bring, which, you know, don't really fall into the clothing category, but are still essential. So keep an eye for the second part of this video. And yeah, thanks for the watching. Have a great trip, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.